Hey everybody, we're back with the safe now. We're going to install the holster in it. So I stuck the gun in the holster and kind of have it angled sort of how I want it, pretty close. And so I'm just going to lock this down pretty tight so it doesn't move. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down in here and see about where I want it, height wise. And I'm actually going to measure it to see how far down I need to go on the outside. So it looks like about 3.5 inches will do it. And we're pretty close to the edge on the far side. So I'm going to take this piece that mounts on the outside. I'm going to take this ruler down to about 3.5 inches to the top of it. And pretty close to the edge. So that should do it about right there. Now I'm going to take this black Sharpie and I'm going to mark the holes. And hopefully I can see them. I hope. And I can. Just barely. So let's turn it up like this and do it. I should do that to start with. That way I can actually see it in the light better. About 3.5 inches to the top. Kind of close to the edge. So about right there. And now I can see them. And if I do it just like that, it should come out pretty good. Okay, we're hoping that's close. Looks close. So now what we're going to do, you get one shot at this part. We're going to take a 7/32 drill bit and we're going to drill through this. Then we're going to dump this in the garbage so we don't get it all over the place. Make sure this will fit down in there. The screw does fit, so we did drill the right hole. Just a little bit of burr on it, not too bad. So there's your first hole. Drill the second hole and hope this is good and lined up. Same thing, dump this in the garbage so somebody don't walk through here barefooted and get a foot full of metal shavings. Let's make sure this goes on well, or lines up good, if I can hold on to it. I'm actually going to use the longer screws and go ahead and put this in here like this, hold it in place, and then I can just start my mark them there, mark it there. I don't have to guess about it no more. I know where they go. There's that hole. Go ahead and dump this out. I don't want my family or my dog getting metal in their foot. Last one to drill. There it is. All 4 of those are drilled out now. Dump this last one in the garbage. we're good to go. There are a few burrs on here. I will get a screwdriver. This Phillips head will probably work. I wish I had a reamer to kind of go over it a little better, but that seemed to have got most of them off there. So we should be good there. What the cool thing is, I thought I would have to have a backup wrench on these nuts, but there's actually little places in here that the nuts sit, so you don't have to have a ratchet. So that's pretty cool. So I'm thinking that these little short screws will probably work better, more than likely. I was guessing. They may not. I'll turn it over and take a look down inside it. Maybe a flashlight for this, and I have one right here. And this one actually has a magnet on it, so it'll actually pop right there. I see the problem. There's some actually some flashing on the inside of here I need to get up. Where I drilled it, it actually has some shards inside it. So I really wish I had like a reamer to put in there where I can get to it. Get some of that out. I'm gonna grab a flathead screwdriver. Maybe I can make it off. Actually, have a little chisel here that might help. I've got some of it, but not all of it. I'm probably gonna have to use the longer screws, only because I can't get this flashing off inside here because it has I don't have a reamer to do it with, which isn't a big deal. I can use the long screws and they won't get in the way, so not a problem. It does come with two different size screws. You have a short screw and a long screw. So I'll just use the long screws and they'll go in a little further and no big deal there. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm actually gonna put some blue Loctite on this because I don't want this to come off. So as I do this, I'll blue Loctite it and put it in. Grab a paper towel. That way, if any of the blue Loctite, I have somewhere to set the blue Loctite when I get done using it, and plus if it runs out on the side of the safe, I can actually just do a quick cleanup. Like I said, this has a place to drop that in the floor. Luckily it comes with extra, there it is, I actually stepped on it. So it has hex pattern in here. These just sit down in there like that. So you don't have to actually try to put a backup wrench on them. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm really anal about having my Dara facing up, even though you're never gonna be able to see it out here. I still wanna do it. I'm gonna put a little blue, actually I'm gonna put it in here first, and then put a little blue Loctite on this. And that did drip down in there. I knew it would. I knew I'd drip it. Okay. Now we'll set this in here. It is a little bit hard to hold them in. You'll have to put your hand on the back of it. It just screws down. Put a little bit on this right now because you won't be able to put it in there once you've actually Got it in. I have to leave that loose just a hair to give it room to wiggle around to line it up. So I'm gonna put my light back inside it so I can see what I'm doing. A little bit harder to get in than what I was hoping. I have to take the holster out and then put the holster back in afterwards. I think the holster's hitting the side and it's not allowing it to line up. Nothing's ever easy as you hope it is. That's just life. It's lining up on the outside, unless this hole right here isn't right, but it should be lined up. Should be it right there. It's almost like it's not wanting to, like the hole's not completely drilled through, but I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it is. I think I didn't have it lined up exactly like I wanted it. I think that's the problem. Just put a little bit more Loctite on it. Slide it back through here. Put another one on the top. Let's try this again. We got that one started. A little more Loctite on that one. Hopefully it lines up better this time. Screw hole may be just a hair off. I may have to make that hole bigger, which isn't a problem, but it looks like I'm gonna have to make that hole bigger. That's on me. I just didn't drill them right. I actually drilled it comparative to this hole, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't line up. Let that be a lesson to you. Learn from my mistakes. Like I said, it's not a huge problem. I don't know why they didn't line up, because I put them on exactly to match up with that. Looks like the other ones line up perfect. It's just that one hole. We'll go up one drill bit. Hopefully that did it. I hope. I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to let you see my mistakes so you can learn from it. I always learn from the mistake of others. Like I said, this won't be a big deal. It will still work. So I'm not, extremely concerned about this. Just make it a little wider. So not a huge deal. Just sucks it didn't get it right the first time. I apologize. My fault. Totally. But like I said, I always learn from the mistakes of others. Hopefully that's big enough now to fit through there. Hopefully I can find the hole. Struggling a little bit. It looks like it might line up now. As you've heard there, the bottom nut fell out. way. Put this back in here so I can see what I'm doing. Yep, went right in that time. So I wasn't off by much, just enough to where it didn't want to go in. Like I said, that's my fault. I was the one that screwed it wrong. Of course I was. There ain't nobody else here to blame it on but me. If my wife was here, I'd blame it on her, even if she wasn't the one that done it. Just seems like a good thing to blame somebody to blame it on. Don't ever take the blame for something you can blame on somebody else. I'm kidding, people. I wouldn't blame my wife for that. Actually, that one seems to be a little off too. I'm going to do them all that way, people. Sorry. That's just the way it is. Have to make them all a little bigger. These need to go side to side. Even though I use the pattern, I mean, you all seen me, I use the pattern to do it, they're still off a little bit. So, I'm actually going to have to drill the other ones a little bit too. Put this in the garbage. And that should have it, I hope. Let's pray, because I'm starting to look kind of stupid. Not being able to drill. We'll go ahead and put all these in. Make it a little easier. When you know it, I didn't have my finger over it and the nuts fell out. So this ain't as easy to install inside a safe. That's what I'd like it to be. But I am working inside a safe, so that's a little difficult too. Like I said, I'm not going to edit this because I want y'all to see what you're up against. I probably will fast forward through some of it. Right, that one started. Just lining it up is what's difficult, because I can't see on this side. No, that ain't right. It has to be up like this. There it is. There we go. These next two should be a lot easier because the first two's in. And the last one. The last one's nut fell out, so we'll stick it back in here. Started. Okay, they're all started. We're good to go now. They're all in. Now what we got to do is tighten them down. Like I said, I use blue Loctite to make sure these things stayed in, didn't vibrate out, because I sure don't want to have to take this safe out whenever I get all said and done. It's just a Phillips screwdriver on this side. I'm going to snug it up really, really good. Just to make sure that it doesn't move at all. Go back over and make sure that I'm loosened up. there it is, installed. Took me a little longer than what I thought, but we're good to go now. Actually put this in here, tighten it down a little bit. Grab the firearm, stick it back in there to see where I want it angled at. I think that right there is about where I want it. Tighten that on down. The lid shuts. That's about perfect. I did forget to loosen the screws, but the holster comes right back out by just unscrewing this, so that's no big deal at all. The gun sits perfectly inside there. I'll show you that. Let me grab a light here. As you can see, it's angled just about perfect where I want it to be. So when I'm sitting on the truck, you know, it's at a perfect draw stroke grip right there, where I want it to be at. And I can angle it a little differently if I want to, but I don't have to. And once I get in the truck, I can actually tweak it a little bit and get it where I want it to be. But for right now, this is where I'm gonna leave it. I am gonna take it back out and loosen them screws a little bit. I'm sorry I didn't drill it perfectly. It was off, I mean, just a hair. And I just, you know, walled it side to side, and a couple times it was good enough and it went right in and everything's tightened down. Like I said, I always use blue Loctite on something like this so it doesn't vibrate loose, because where this is at, also why I mounted this on the front right here of the safe, is this will actually be facing the front of the console. You can't get to this to unscrew these screws. Not that that would help you get this out, but you can't even get to them right here. And they won't hit anything going in or anything like that. So the holster is completely encompassed into this safe and completely safe in here. And I think this is the perfect setup. Like I said, Dara Holsters, thank you again for getting me this as quick as you did. It's a great product. It serves perfect for what I want it to do. And we'll see you on the next video of installing it. And this video is 26 minutes long, and most of that's because I screwed up. I apologize for that. I'm not going to edit that because I had issues with it. Installing it, it wasn't Dara's fault. It was straight my fault, because I'm working inside this safe, and it was so weird to move it around that it was a little bit awkward, and it just is what it is. And I wanted you to see some of the issues that I had, so I don't want to delete them because you might have the same kind of issues as me. I want you to expect that. Maybe you can learn from my mistakes and not have to redo it again. But thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the install of the truck.